Hey everybody, welcome to Always Bored, Never Boring, and my review of issue 60 of Warhammer 40,000 Conquest magazine, a Partworks publication from Hachette Publishing in association with Games Workshop, which comes out every week priced at $7.99. As a subscriber, I get 4 issues once a month in a bundle, and this is the second issue from my current bundle. And I have to admit, I am a little bit behind schedule with reviewing them, and I guess that's kind of because I've lost interest in the publication a little bit, if I'm honest. The magazine is still fantastic. I still think it's a fantastic way to get into the game. I just think that I'm 60 issues in now, and I've got a lot of Death Guard stuff and a lot of Space Marine stuff now, a lot of which I haven't even got around to building, certainly none of which I've got around to painting, and the last couple of issues, I've noticed that I've not been getting particularly excited with the products that are on the cover of the magazine. They're still good products and they're still good value, but again, I just think it's perhaps familiarity breeding contempt a little bit. Like I said, I don't want to say the magazine's now bad. It's certainly not. It's a very good magazine, and like I say, I do think it's a very good way to get into the game. But I do feel like, as I've built up quite a lot of stuff now, I'm starting to feel a little bit like I've kind of seen it all a little bit. But that is just me personally, and I'm still carrying on reviewing. I'm still going to get all the way to issue 80 because there are 80 issues in the original subscription run. I haven't heard word yet if they are planning to extend it beyond 80 issues, but I've never seen a Partworks yet that doesn't go beyond the initial planned run, but that is something we have to wait to see. For now, we're going to look at issue 60, and now I've got that preamble out of the way. Issue 60 comes with a frame of Poxwalkers, which also includes a Death Guard Space Marine. And here is the frame in glorious green. This is probably a good example of what I'm talking about when I say that I'm not getting as excited about the magazine as I was. I've already got a lot of Poxwalkers, and Poxwalkers for me aren't something I'm particularly interested in anyway. I'm much more interested in vehicles and small units of hard-hitting stuff rather than hordes, and that's mainly because I'm a lazy painter, and the thought of having to paint 50 Poxwalkers up it's not something that I'm particularly keen to be doing. This frame actually has 10 Poxwalkers in total, and like I say, it also has a Death Guard, but it is worth noting this is a frame from the starter sets that Games Workshop put out. So this frame is available in No Fear, and it's also available in Dark Imperium, and because it's from a starter set, this frame isn't entirely complete. The Death Guard miniature requires some components from another frame. We have actually had that frame in an earlier issue of Warhammer 40,000 Conquest. If you have thrown out the bits from that frame, then you are out of luck. But as long as you held onto them, you will be able to make an additional Death Guard. The problem here is for people who are picking up just the issues they want. If somebody sees this issue and goes, ooh, I get 10 Poxwalkers and a Death Guard for $7.99, that's good value. They might be a little bit disappointed to find out that they only actually get the legs and the backpack and a bit of an arm for the Death Guard, because all the other bits to finish him off are on that other frame. But other than that, we have some Poxwalkers, and the Poxwalkers are cool miniatures. They're sort of like gross, zombie, diseased, pestilent beasties. They've got a lot of character, but like I say, I've already got a lot of these miniatures, and we've actually had Poxwalkers a few times in previous issues of Warhammer 40,000 Conquest as well, so this isn't particularly exciting to me. However, it's pretty good value. I mean, you're paying $7.99 and you're getting 10 Poxwalkers and a bit of a Death Guard. This frame, as it's not available at retail separately, I'm going to price it up at £10, and that's just because when you break down any of the starter sets by sprue and cost it up by dividing it up, it works out about £10 a frame. So I'm saying this has a value of £10, so £7.99 is a saving of £2 and a penny, but obviously 10 Poxwalker miniatures for £7.99 is pretty decent value. Of course, in addition to whatever value you see in the miniatures, you also get the value inherent in the magazine itself. And these magazines are pretty decent. They are aimed at new people, so they've kept things simple, and they're a really good introduction. So as always, we start with our fluff section, and we have a section on the Forces of Chaos and Chaos Knights. We have cool artwork. And then we have some painted examples. We will not be getting a knight with the magazine because they're humongous. Who knows, maybe if they extend beyond the 80 issues, they'll break up a knight over a whole bunch of issues. Well, that'd be nice. More painted examples. And then a glorious history. A glorious history of what? In every era of the Imperium's history, the Imperial fists have fought at the forefront of mankind's most momentous battles. Yeah, it's a glorious history of the Imperial fists. A couple of pages of that. And then we are into our build guide, which is obviously lifted directly from the build guides from the starter sets, for the most part. It's got how to build your Death Guard, and it's got an alternative build. That is because those are the parts that were available on a previous frame. So you can make him two ways. You can make him with a bolter, or you can make him with a plasma gun. And it does say here, in previous issues you received 2 sets of parts that can be used to build the Plague Marine. Use one set now and save the other. You will use it to build the remaining Plague Marine in a later issue. So that means we will be getting in a subsequent issue another one of these frames again. So again, you know, I'm harping a little bit now, but that's going to be another issue that I'm not really excited about, because it's going to be another issue with another frame of Poxwalkers to add to my mountain of Poxwalkers. Oh, let me back pages come off. Let's move out of the way. What's next? Very straightforward build instructions for the Poxwalkers. These Poxwalkers are not push fit. They do require glue, which is why you can see there's yellow highlighted areas on the diagrams. That's where you apply the glue. But they are very easy to put together. You can see that in most cases it's 2 parts. You've got a body and a head. So yeah, they're good. They're nice miniatures. I do like them, but like I say, it's not something that I personally want to have. I don't want to have an army of Poxwalkers. I'd rather just have a small team of Death Guard tromping around, because I don't care about things like being competitive and stuff like that. I don't even know if it is competitive to have a massive army of Poxwalkers. I don't really care. So this is the painting guide. Very clear, very concise. These painting guides are always good. They get your miniatures done quickly to a very good tabletop standard. 60 issues in now. They pretty much take you from the start to a completely finished model. It used to be in earlier magazines that they would take you so far and then they'd say, when we've given you some more paints, come back and add these colors, and then come back again later on again. But now they've given you most of the techniques and paints that you're going to need to get things finished. You can see there's some really nice close-up images showing all the details being applied. And here is the finished thing. Not sure what's going on with that one there, with that one that's half blue. But very nice. You'll be very happy to have those on the table all painted up. I would be very happy to have all of mine on the table painted up, but I don't. And then finally we have a scenario. We have the Retreat from Kalon. And we have a little campaign map, and we have a magazine that's completely falling to bits. It says play this mission multiple times and mark your wins. Whoever wins the most has achieved victory. Cool. So yeah, you can put your little symbols in your map as you do a run and gun through the streets of Kalon. So what's this? Oh, look at that. That's cool. Lots of stuff going on there. That's neat. That statue's been defaced. Nice. And then we have our scenario. I read that as the partying blow then. That's a completely different thing. This is the parting blow. So we have the Death Guard taking up one whole mat, because there's two mats pushed together. And this will actually be the last time that we fight across this particular battlefield, because from issue 61 they will be moving on to the new battle mat that they included a few issues ago. What have we got going on? It says, while the Ultramarines 3rd Company holds the Death Guard in position, Acheron and his task force must destroy the bomb-making facilities before completing their withdrawal from Kalon. The Death Guard are prepared, however, and Lord Felthius and his troops are ready to meet the Ultramarines. The Death Guard player places 2 objective markers in their deployment zone. Objective markers must be more than 6 inches from a board edge and more than 8 inches from any other objective. To control an objective, have the most models within 3 inches at the end of the game. So it's another, basically, advance the Ultramarines into the Death Guard area, seize the objectives, hold them till the end of the game. Victory conditions are first player to eliminate an enemy unit, each enemy vehicle eliminated, eliminate the enemy warlord, each objective controlled, and the game lasts for 5 battle rounds. Well, that's cool. That's pretty standard stuff, pretty standard fare. And obviously, you're going to be using a whole heck of a heap of Poxwalkers. They've got 20 Poxwalkers in this force. So there we go. And that's everything in the issue. Good stuff. Let's have a little look at what's coming up next. So next up, in issue 61, we have Imperial Objectives. And this is a very interesting issue because somebody pointed out to me in an earlier video that these are not the objectives that you can buy separately. They are the objectives from the Urban Conquest box set, which is like a campaign system for Warhammer 40k. So that's very interesting because I don't think they're available anywhere else, not to my knowledge. And then in issue 62, we have Galvanic Servo Haulers. So this is half of the Galvanic Servo Haulers box set, which has some really cool contraptions in there. Which are all painted up all rusty and gross here, but almost certainly won't be in the painting guide in the magazine. But anyway, that is it. What I always do at the end of these videos is I do a little running total where I compare the cost of subscribing to the magazine at $7.99 an issue versus the cost of purchasing all the cover products from the magazine at full retail price. So I'm not taking into account online discounts, but I am also not taking into account any value in the magazine and also the cost of any free gifts or anything that you get for subscribing. It is literally just cover price of the magazine versus full retail price of the cover products, which hopefully some people will find useful. But that is it from me for now. Thank you very much for watching. If you have liked the video, please consider pressing that like button. And if you have really liked the video, please consider subscribing. And hopefully I will see you all again very soon. Bye bye everyone. Bye bye.